right. Welcome to Locky Top, everybody. We're going to take some time to introduce ourselves because we realized we haven't yet. I'm Naveen. My specialty is special teams, particularly punting. I'm an NCAA basketball expert, and I'm logging in from northern New Jersey, and this is where I was born and raised. Josh?
Hey, everybody. Just want to introduce myself. I'm Josh. I'm the resident Tennessee Vol fanatic. All things Tennessee sports. I dabble in a little bit of everything. I'm currently in North Carolina by way of East Tennessee, right outside of Knoxville. So thanks for tuning in and continue to follow our stuff. And hopefully we can give you good content moving forward and go Vols. Frank?
Yeah, so I'm the resident NHL expert. Grew up in New York on Long Island, living in Austin, Texas now. I've been following NHL my whole life. Primarily grew up as a New York Rangers fan. And, also I've played baseball my whole life too. So I do follow Major League Baseball quite a bit when that season comes up. But, for the season now, NHL, all the way. And been doing pretty well this year, to say the least. So
cheers to that, buddy.
Yeah.
What's everybody drinking today?
I got, believe it or not, Naveen, Indian whiskey. I mean,
so I went Japanese. I got Yamazaki.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm sipping on the Woodford Reserve, the Kentucky Straight. Just prepping myself for tomorrow a little bit.
American through and through, Josh. I love it.
There you go.
There we go.
I would tell you, the Japanese whiskey, you're going to start live betting quite a bit, and you're probably going to start punting pretty quick.
That's my specialty, dude. Special teams. All right.
Naveen, do you want to kind of tell the audience why we were introducing our drinks? Kind of the segment is going to be Friday nights happy hour, and it's going to be happy hour on the locks.
Yes, sir. So we will be drinking and providing you a happy hour podcast from now going forward. We realized, a lot of the things that we highlight to you is basically starts at Saturday at noon. So we don't want to upload something and then tell you to bet it after it uploads. That's not fair to you. So we decided we'll, take an edge off the work week, provide it one day early, and make sure that you have ample time to, fire away at any of the bets. And also, I think going forward, we'll try to do an episode during the weeks when college football comes back, because now we got, crazy schedule, Thursday to Saturday or Thursday to Monday of football. So we want to make sure that we cover everything and it's uploaded so you don't have to try and bet something after it's uploaded. I'll just take you through our topics for today. We're going to start with Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, Chiefs and Niners. We'll hit you with the facts on sides and totals. We'll have the hottest props for you, some of the, game-related stuff and some of the, random stuff that comes out for Super Bowl. We want to keep everybody involved. And also we'll recap a little bit of what happened in conference championships. That's also fresh on our mind. So we want to hit you with the recap of that. Obviously, we're Tennessee podcast, so we will be also previewing Tennessee versus Kentucky, which will be tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. late game, and we'll also have a reaction for you guys as well after the game. This game is at Rupp Arena. Dalton has been carrying the whole team on his back. Like, who else is going to show up for us? So we want to talk to you about that. Obviously, also we have, there's a bunch of also premier matchups in NCAA. We'll touch upon those two for a little bit. Carolina, Duke, Houston, Kansas, Purdue, Wisconsin, Baylor, Iowa State. So we just want to make sure that we have those covered for you because we want to be complete on the weekend's action. Frank will put it on ice for us, and then we'll look at the best bets of the weekend. And yeah, that'll be what we cover. I want to introduce a new segment called Rapid Fire. Basically, it'll be about a 1-minute debate on each side, and there'll be 3 topics. And there's about 30 seconds a person for each side, and I'll kind of moderate who goes and the timings of everything. But I want to start with our first debate, which is who wins the Super Bowl and why. I'm gonna go first here and kind of start us off. But first, rapid fire. So it's going to be Chiefs, boys. You don't have to worry about it. The NFL had a script for us this whole year, and who are we to fade it? It's stupid to do stuff like that. They're trying to tell you every single game they're making Chiefs an underdog, and it's a gift. And people try to fade it, but I'm not one of those type of people. I'm a simple guy. I just want to punt on the stuff I like to bet on. And Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is exactly what I want to punt on. So, Frank, I'll let you have your take as well.
Yeah, pretty much the same take there. Now, you can't fade Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. To me, I think I've said in the past, fading Patrick Mahomes is similar to fading Tom Brady. You just can't fade the guy. Just seriously don't do it. You're going to lose your money every single time. He's basically the next Tom Brady in the NFL. So Chiefs money line all day. I mean, they're going to take the lead early. If they don't take the lead early, they're going to come back and win the game. You look at the other side, Brock Purdy is not good enough to win the Super Bowl. He really isn't. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's nowhere near it. They've barely won the past 2 games. They got very, very lucky to beat the Lions. And before that, the Packers. It's not happening against the Chiefs. It's almost never happening.
Okay. Sounds good, Frank. Thanks for that. Very clear Chiefs all day, as Frank said. And now our second topic. Who wins Tennessee Hoops Clash of Titans between Tennessee and Kentucky? Josh, I'll let you go first.
Thanks, Naveen. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Tennessee Vols, even though I was super critical after the reaction against South Carolina earlier in the week. I had a 24-hour cooling off period to kind of reassess where I was as a Vol fan. It's been an interesting week as a Tennessee fan also because of all the things with NIL and everything that's going on campus with our athletics writ large. But Tennessee's going to win. I think they're going to win a close game. I'm going to take them to cover, kind of spoiler on my preview here. They're going to get it done and Rupp. Reason why is because I just feel like Kentucky's record's a little inflated. I don't think that their quality wins aren't nearly as good as Tennessee's. And I just feel like both are coming off midweek losses. And defensively, Kentucky doesn't have what it takes to stop Tennessee. Okay,
my take is the exact opposite. I know I'm wearing orange today, but I guess I should be wearing blue for today for tomorrow. I think we talked to Chase about it last week. He kind of outlined like how you stop Kentucky and how you stop Tennessee. I just don't see production coming from anybody else other than number 3 in orange. I haven't seen anything really come out in terms of fight from the rest of the team. And to beat Kentucky, especially in Rupp with the Rupperies, I think we're going to see some terrible calls. We're going to see a lot of bricks. I would say Kentucky, and I would also say the under.
Yeah. 67-62 Kentucky. That's all I got.
The last topic for us today is will the Chiefs, if the Chiefs win, will Kelce propose to Taylor on the field? I'll start with this one, and maybe Frank close us out here. I think it's absolutely going to happen. The betting odds of this are roughly plus 1,000 and minus 2,000. Basically, you're getting 10-1 on your money. Any amount of money you want to multiply by 10, just bet it on this. Like, don't even bother with the game. The game doesn't matter because it's going to be Chiefs. The NFL script writers told us this the whole fucking season, guys. So just make sure that you're not the one not multiplying your money by 10. So, Frank, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna see a picture somewhere on the internet or TikTok or Instagram about Travis Kelce with his knee on the ground, Taylor Swift accepting, and then the game's in Vegas, right? So,
Yep.
and they're going right to one of those spots in Vegas. They're getting married within
Elvis is
24
married.
hours of the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. They're gonna be married within 24 hours. I would bet on that.
Yeah, I think they might let Kelce kneel and just have him rotate 180 degrees, and Taylor will come on the field, and that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Victory formation, the Chiefs closing it out, and they let him take the knee, and then just boom, there's the diamond. Is that what you think is going to happen, Nav?
Exactly, dude. I think that's what's gonna happen, and I think we're all in agreement, and we should all be piling that.
Yeah.
All right.
Chiefs is a massive pile on top of parlaying with the Taylor Swift Kelce marriage. Pile that. I mean, you get 20 times your money, basically.
Yeah. That's how it's gonna go. So on a more go ahead.
No. I'm gonna say parlay the proposal with the Chiefs money line.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a big lock, Frank. Thanks for that. So I think on a more serious note, we're going to preview what we can expect from the game. I just want to go around the room and kind of talk about how you think the game flow of the game is going to go. Maybe talk about the line a little bit. I think the line is currently Niners -2.5, over under 47.5 or 47, depending on your book. So give me your read on how this game is going to go. I'll start with Josh.
Thanks, man. Both teams are not coming into the Super Bowl like setting the world on fire. We saw San Francisco have to dig out of a very, very deep hole against Detroit in the NFC Championship game. And then we just saw Kansas City kind of just get a gift handed to them by Baltimore. Baltimore basically imploded on themselves. So, I could see the first half kind of being really slow. I would say there's probably not going to be more than 20 combined points in the first half. And then second half, probably get some traction going because both teams kind of showed up last week in the second half more than they did in the first. And I think we're going to see more points put up after halftime. I'm looking forward to the halftime show. Usher's going to be doing that as well. So he's going to bring the energy with the halftime performance, So parlay that too. Go second half on Chiefs. Okay. But I think that overall the Super Bowl is gonna be pretty boring, honestly, until after halftime. It doesn't have anything going for me, to raise my pulse. The MVP is not even playing in the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson. So he just couldn't get a receiver to, score touchdowns last week. So
all right,
here we are.
I'll say the Chiefs are a first half team. They crush it in the first half of games. The 49ers crush it in the second half of games. So as far as what I see in the game, the Chiefs are going to be winning at halftime. At the end of the game, it's going to be up to Brock Purdy to win the game. And I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I mean, the script is there. It's going to be Chiefs. And the Chiefs are going to win the game at halftime, basically. I think it might be like a 14 or 17-point lead for the Chiefs at halftime. That's kind of, what I've seen from these two teams. The Chiefs, they crush it in the first half. They blow it in the second half. The 49ers blow it in the first half, and they crush it in the second half. So Frank, it's like
I got a hot take for you, man. I got a hot take for you.
What's that?
This goes to show just how much I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. To me, the flag football Pro Bowl game is more intriguing for me to watch than Chiefs and Niners. Yeah, for a lot of the reasons that you just said.
I get it.
Outside of the Taylor Swift storyline that I know that we all are just, on bated breath to watch play out. I'm just not super excited about
20 to 1 for Chiefs money line and Taylor Swift and Kelce getting married.
That's probably a good value pick. Great value.
Yeah, I think that's where I would go. I think honestly, the rest of the NFL world who's not obsessed with football is really entertained by this Super Bowl. It's really for the girls out there, I think, for the ladies.
Yeah. It's getting them to watch it.
Usher's performing. Taylor's going to be shown every 15 seconds. This is a female
she's overshadowing the man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Taylor and Usher fighting for the attention.
Yeah, I think so. But back to the grind. Andy's not here, so he can't give you all the stats. So I will be Andy for right now. So
good luck.
Yeah, Niners are 5-0.
Yeah, stats by Andy's hard to replace.
Niners are 5-0 straight up in ATS in the last 5 games away from the home. Andy Reid is 3-1 against the spread in the Super Bowl, including 2-0 ATS as an underdog. Mahomes is 10-1-1 ATS as an underdog, including the playoffs where he has 9 outright wins.
Don't bet against him. Don't bet against him.
Bet against Mahomes. Just pile the Chiefs.
I've learned many times. Don't bet against Mahomes.
He has the best cover rate, 91% as an underdog of any starting QB since 1970 merger of NFL. Mahomes is 3-0 straight up in his career as an underdog in the playoffs. That was all this year. Mahomes is 3-0 straight up and ATS in his career versus the Niners. And the team that travels westward to the Super Bowl location is 7-0 in situations where they're, playing more west than their home stadium. So in this case,
west, get more rest.
West, more rest. Exactly, Josh. That's exactly the phrasing I was going to use. So all those signs to me point to Mahomes lock, Kelce lock, Taylor lock. Everything is locked when it comes to Chiefs. And it's really going to be an easy, fun time as a Chiefs bettor. And yeah, the whole thing is lucky topped if you think about it. So I just want to make sure that, we advise our fans. We're probably going to cover the Super Bowl again. So we want to make sure that, we're stressing to you today and next week. It's not going to change. It's Chiefs all day.
Yeah, but what we're giving the fans right now, the people that are tuning in, and as you can see, we're 18-13 versus the spread. So we're making you money. We're giving you the value pick now. Listen to the guys in these boxes on this screen that you're watching. Don't bet against Mahomes and take the value of this spread right now, because all it's going to do is continuously go down.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? It's not going to go up. It's only just going to trickle down.
The only chance of the 49ers winning is like a last second field goal, right? Because Chiefs are a huge first half team, shitty second half team. 49ers are a terrible first half team and big second half team. Chiefs defense is pretty damn good. They're in the Super Bowl.
Underrated for sure. Underrated.
So at the end of the day, maybe you see 28-27 49ers as like a 20% chance of hitting. But, Chiefs plus 2, 2.5, 3, whatever you can get is very, very, very clearly an easy bet. Like genuinely, to me, I look at it like Avalanche over 6.5. Just pile it in there, because it's just right there. It's an easy one. It really is, honestly, this year.
All right. So kind of related to the Super Bowl, we've been mentioning her a couple times, but we just want to give her a fair segment because that's what she earned. $1 billion woman, unbelievable tour. How many times are they going to show Taylor Swift on the screen, Josh? How many times?
How many times are they going to show Taylor on the screen?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want any bad blood. So what I'm going to do, like what I did there. Yeah.
Just shake it off. Shake off the blood.
I don't want any bad blood. So, I'm going under 11 pans to Taylor.
11. Is there a line for this right now, Mav? Is there a
under
line?
11 pans?
I didn't find it yet on Bovada, but I'm sure they're going to show it. But I think they have to clearly define what what counts, because it could be like, oh, minimum 2 seconds on Taylor.
Any screenshot to her, like
any shot. I think Andy's saying that CBS showed Taylor Swift 7 times last week for 44 seconds total,
and I felt like that was overload, but I'll say they'll juice it a little bit more. Obviously, the Super Bowl and the ratings, and that's why I'm going with 11. But I also don't see that it's going to be a very high-scoring game. There's not going to be a lot of fireworks, in my opinion, based on these two teams and the way they match up. So the opportunity to pan to Taylor, and like you said, they've already got it scripted for the the parade at the end with the proposal. So why ruin it?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. I'm thinking 8 times. I'm thinking Chiefs are going to win basically the first half. They're going to pan to her maybe 5 times first half. Just absolutely pile Taylor Swift first half. And then slowly kind of 3 times in the second half.
Let me ask you this. Does anybody know who Taylor Swift like record deal is with? Like parent, does like NBC or CBS own? Like who's going to try to who's going to try to okay, so who's going to try to pub her the most? So that would be NBC.
I don't
Universal.
know.
Yeah, I think that's how that would work out.
Yeah, Andy just texted me that saying that NBC showed Taylor Swift 17 times on Sunday Night Football. So that gives you a comparison, right? So CBS 7, NBC 17. Josh is saying under 11 or under.
I would say 8.
Frank said 8. I'm going to go ahead and blast all the fucking overs on this. I'm going to go ahead with 20. If you're not showing 10.5, what are you doing?
Wow. No, it's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. They have other things to show. You know how many people
they're not going to
show
Josh
their
just said
Super
it.
Bowl?
Josh just said it, bro. They're not going to score. They're going to have all this dead time. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be bullshit calls.
Over. Come on,
dude,
it's not over.
She might be able to give a mini concert during the 15 reviews that they're going to have during the game. That's extra value for the fans. So just embrace it, guys.
Well, you also got to understand she's finishing up the last leg of the Eras tour from Japan, so she might be a little bit jet lagged making it to the game in time on Sunday.
They'll move the fucking game to Japan if they need to, dude.
I mean, if there's a line for that, take under 8. 8 or under, because they're not going to show Taylor Swift when she's tired. You think they're going to show her?
I don't think she's going to be tired, bro. She's the game time performer. She's better than Mahomes. She's better than Brock Purdy. She does this all the damn time. You don't think she's tired when she goes back to back 4-hour concerts every day?
So, Frank, you think Super Bowl MVP is Taylor Swift?
Write it in.
I mean,
Write it in, dude.
Write it in. Let's go.
I mean, if they could. If they like a plus 7,500 Taylor Swift.
That's exactly right, Frank. If it was possible for her to be MVP, she would be.
Give her a write-in vote, like
Kanye. Yeah, write-in. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So I think we had a lot of fun talking about Taylor, but
that horse is beat.
Let's talk about the game actually. So obviously over under is 47.5, and we've covered the Chiefs as a lock. So let's just get your read on 47.5 as over under. Frankly, I think that this is a smash the under type of game.
Under.
I'm trying to see. I want to see. I think a 27-14 type of game. That's what I see. 41 points. I think above 40, under 50 for sure.
I want whatever square I selected in the pick to be the final score, just selfishly. But I don't see, like I was screaming to the top of my lungs there a moment ago, under all the way. It's going to be low scoring. I'm going to say 23-18 Kansas City.
Oh, wow. Same total, 41. Good thinking.
I mean, I'm seeing 17-13 Chiefs at halftime.
Okay.
And you're going to oddly sweat the under. Very, very oddly sweat the under. Just three
like a lot of
field goals.
like a lot of red zone visits, but nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I see the 49ers defense stuffing them. I see the Chiefs defense also stuffing them in the second half. And, if you're looking at just a final, maybe 2017, 2016, what did I say? Like in 17-13. It's an under game. I'm with you guys on that. But I'm kind of seeing nothing in the second half, to be honest. I see the game won in the first half. I see the game won in the first half by the Chiefs, and they just hold the line, the whole third, fourth quarter. You're going to see like 9 points in the third and fourth quarter. So like maybe second half under bet, maybe first half over bet, something like that is the right way to do it. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I mean,
do you see a defensive score? Like I'd like to see a pick six, or I know Naveen's favorite football play is strip sack fumble, return for touchdown.
I mean, the pick six, it's going to happen if Brock Purdy throws a pick six.
Oh, right? Brock Purdy's going to be the
Patrick Mahomes is not going to throw a pick six in the Super Bowl. Get real, Like
didn't he do that against Tampa Bay though?
What's that?
Didn't Patrick Mahomes? I don't know if it was a touchdown, but I think he threw some interceptions against Tampa Bay.
He did. Right. He did, but he's facing Brady.
That's in the Super Bowl.
Well, Brady didn't intercept the ball. Come on.
He's got the vibes, man. He's got the vibes. He controls the defense.
He's got the juice.
He's got the blinders on right here, right?
Yeah.
He's got the blinders on.
Tunnel vision.
If you think about it,
Purdy is going to throw a pick in the Super Bowl. I would bet on that.
Think about it. There's only two QBs to beat like Mahomes in the playoffs. Number one is Brady, like earlier in his career, AFC Championships, also like Super Bowl versus Bucks, and Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow consistently shows up against Mahomes, and that's his Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's not to get a Super Bowl yet, but I think maybe it'll come in the future. But yeah, that's a good. Okay.
Not with Cincinnati. Not happening.
Joe Burrow? Come on. He had one.
If he gets traded,
good for him.
If he gets traded, yes. I don't think Cincinnati's.
He's done. He's punting.
Yeah, Cincinnati made it. He made it, and that's it for Cincy, man.
He's got nobody left, man. He's got nothing. No offense, no defense. He had one shot, and that was early in his career, and that was it. He'll never have that chance again. I'll tell you right now. Never.
I mean, he was up until the last drive versus Rams, right?
He's never going to have the chance again. He's never getting there. Joe Burrow is never going to get there.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of similar to not exactly like Purdy. I mean, Burrow is the first pick in the draft, but Purdy the last. But basically, you got to win when your QB is cheap. Otherwise, it's hard to win, right? You want your QB on your rookie contract, kind of like, if you guys watch NBA, right?
Yeah, because they're going to go somewhere to get a franchise tag. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to leave.
It's hard to win when Steph Curry makes $16 million, but when he makes 16, it is easier to win because you can pay people, pay other people on the team. All right, so that's a good look at the Super Bowl. I just want to highlight some of these joke props that I've been seeing. Today, I mean, obviously we have coin toss, heads and tails. I'm a big tails guy. I don't know about you guys. Frank seems like a heads guy.
Heads, yes.
Okay.
I've been running good too now, so I think heads.
Tails never fails, man. Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. I think.
Versus one, it's heads. Go ahead.
All right. Gatorade bath color. People are saying purple is the favorite, plus 150. I'm big on. I think it's going to be red.
Yeah,
red for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, both the teams are red, right? Niners and Chiefs. So I think red's
lock.
Red's a lock. And then we see the crazy ones like the national anthem over under 88 seconds. It's going to be Reba McEntire. I've done some DGen Andy statistics on this. Reba McEntire always goes under. So it doesn't matter if it's 100, 90, 85, she goes under. She sings fast.
Hey, 76 seconds, man.
76 seconds. So
Josh says Southern woman for you, man.
Yeah, she says slam the under.
86 seconds, right? She's gonna sweat, make you sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Reba comes in 86, 85 seconds.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so some funny props that I've seen. Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Travis and Jason both announced their immediate retirement after the game on Sunday. That's paying 25-1. I think honestly that's not bad of an idea, but I think that
Who's retiring? Sorry,
Travis and Jason Kelce.
No.
both Kelce's.
Both.
Not happening. Not happening.
But I don't think it would be on Sunday. I think it would be on their podcast. I think whenever that comes out,
Yeah, of course.
they would save it for that. So
Yeah.
I don't like that for that reason.
They would definitely cuck it for their podcast for sure.
For sure.
Those guys are too bro to be like, same time.
Yeah.
It's got to be like they play Super Bowl, Eagles, Chiefs, and then they retire after. Maybe next season, honestly.
Well, Jason's already gone. You just got to worry about Travis.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think another fun one that I kind of like is Travis Kelce 3+ touchdowns in the second half.
Not happening.
That's plus. That's 100-1.
That should be 1,000.
That's not happening enough. I was just thinking about that one.
Okay.
Chiefs first half, yes. Chiefs second half, absolutely not.
Okay.
Maybe take like 1.5 touchdowns, Kelce over first half.
Okay.
I would pile
I would take
on.
that one. Definitely not second half. Second half, Chiefs cannot get it done. They really
I would
can't.
pile more on the likelihood of Travis and Taylor getting married by Elvis impersonator than 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's only 1,000. That's plus 1,000. So that's not even. They're not even giving you that much.
Those bets,
value.
honestly, those bets are there to take your money. Plus 3 touchdowns second half, Kelce is never happening. Never.
Just give me your money. I'll put it to bed.
Each team to score three or more rushing TDs plus 50-1.
Chiefs.
That's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Either QB to catch their own pass plus 75-1. So
what they're doing Lamar Jackson last week.
Wait, hang on. Focus on that rushing one. It's rushing
3 TDs. 3 TDs rushing each team.
Yeah, shout out Marcus Mariota.
Both teams.
Both teams.
It has to be both teams.
Yeah. I mean, Niners.
I like Chiefs on that one. I do like Chiefs on 3, but 6 touchdowns. I mean,
that's going to be a huge game.
There's going to be a little dump off pass to McCaffrey that's past the line of scrimmage, and you'll be like, "Oh, damn, only 5."
Purdy
1 yard forward.
Purdy 4 or more interceptions, 70-1. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And those are the funny ones I saw. I think we'll see a bunch more come out this week. Longest touchdown, last touchdown. Obviously, who's going to win? Mahomes is 260.5 for pass yards. Kelce 69.5. Nice. On receiving yards, I think
it's going to crush first half.
Yeah. I kind of also think it's going to be a big George Kittle day. 46.5 is his line. That seems low to me. I think he'll get 50. And I think that's kind of like what I'm thinking. Over under sacks is 4.5. Over under total turnovers is 2.5. I think we'll see less turnovers, more sacks. That's what I hope, at least. So that was our rundown of the Super Bowl. Why don't we close out NFL with the NFC and AFC conference games? I'll give you my quick reaction to both. I'll start with the AFC. I thought that whoever ran the offense for the Ravens should be fired. They basically made Lamar Jackson, a very dynamic rushing QB, into Joe Flacco. And they took his sauce away from him. I think OBJ had a clip where he's talking to Lamar like, yo, bro, you got to run the ball. And I think he's absolutely right. Like, he didn't cause any chaos with that approach that he took. And really, like, gifted the second half to the Chiefs. As Frank mentioned a lot, they didn't score at all. Chiefs didn't score at all in the second half, but because Mahomes played like an old white guy, that wasn't really a problem. But if he played like the player he is, like, they could have easily won that game, and they had a lot of opportunities. But yeah, I want to get your guys' read on the Ravens Chiefs, what you saw so far. Start with you, Frank.
Yeah, so the Lions absolutely blew it. I mean, they had the game in complete control, and what a coaching nightmare. I mean, the guy made so many mistakes coaching. He can kick a field goal. He can kick another field goal. He can win the game.
Or he can run.
Or he can do anything. He made the wrong choice in every spot in the second half on the Lions, and it cost them a shot to play for the Super Bowl. I mean, let's be honest. Like, he had a platter in front of him, and he's like, just take it easy and coast, and he absolutely blew it. He got greedy. He tried to go for fourth down over and over again. Didn't get it. Just take 3 points. It's the simplest thing to do as a coach when you're up by 2 touchdowns. Just take a field goal, man. Go up 3 scores. Like, what's wrong with you? As far as the other game, the Chiefs, they really played great defensively. And I can tell you, the Ravens just made really terrible mistakes. They fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line for a touchback. That's terrible. Just dive forward and go down. Get your touchdown. The other one was Lamar Jackson throwing into triple coverage. I mean, how are you going to throw into triple coverage when you can kick a field goal on fourth down? You're taking 10 points off the board for the Ravens. It cost them the game. They made really, really, really bad mistakes in a championship game. And the Ravens absolutely blew it. They really blew it. The Lions really blew it. It honestly should be Ravens versus Lions in the Super Bowl. But both coaches and both teams made really terrible decisions. They could have been there, very simply.
Yep. Josh, your thoughts?
Damn Campbell. Guy, I'm telling you, you blew it. He just kept going for it on fourth down, just like, to echo what Frank was saying. But, I mentioned the other day, Dan Campbell, he would definitely hit 19 on blackjack every single time against like a dealer 3. Just hit me, right? Not a lot that I've not already said to be redundant on the conference championship games. AFC Championship game was kind of lackluster. Lamar should have ran. Offensive malpractice going on there with Baltimore. I hated to see T. Martin out there just trying to coach him up and not being very effective with being able to score in the AFC Championship game for the Ravens. Again, don't bet against Mahomes. I've been consistently betting against him and losing this year. I've learned the error of my ways, so stack on Chiefs.
Are you really betting against Mahomes, Josh?
I was. I really was. It's almost like Dan Campbell hitting on 19, man. Against Steelers 3. But here's the thing about freaking Dan Campbell, man. It's just like, bro, you barely even got hired to begin with at Detroit, and then you go and you just punt and really
he's a high school football coach. Let's be honest. This guy, Dan Campbell, he's a high school football coach.
Yeah, he's great value brand.
Maybe in Texas.
He's definitely he's great value brand. Bill Belichick, right? You want him to succeed just because he's a good guy, like a bro, like, hey, probably go have one of these with Dan Campbell, right? But fuck, man, you have to punt the ball or kick a field goal when you're in those positions, right? You literally screw Detroit from their one opportunity of actually winning a conference championship and playing in a Super Bowl. So for that, those are both from, if I was a Detroit fan, one fireable offense, and hey man, I can't even be mad for them wanting to run him out of town. Yeah,
I'll tell you, Josh, every college coach in America can manage that game, and he couldn't. Every single college coach in America that coaches Division I football could win the game for the Lions last week, and he could not do it. He made the wrong choice every single time.
I think I think malpractice is the word that you tossed around last week while we were like, chatting during the game, and that's the perfect perfect word. My thoughts are basically in the first half, Dan Campbell played to his strengths. Like, he was running outside with Jahmyr Gibbs, he was running inside with Montgomery, he was throwing to Amon-Ra St. Brown on third down. And then when you need some kind of wild play, you're going to Reynolds, or you're going to Laporta. So it was a good mix of their strengths. I think you got to go to Amon-Ra on third down. We jokingly call it third and St. Brown. So that's what you got to do. If you want a large hitting play to the outside, you want Amon-Ra. He had 0 targets in the second half until 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That's malpractice. Jahmyr Gibbs was running inside, malpractice. Montgomery running outside, malpractice. So,
he did a terrible job. The guy did like the worst job possible coaching the second half.
He's
and
like,
basically, want to look at the worst thing you could possibly do. Do that in the second half. If you want.
And then after he shits his pants during that, coaching fiasco that happened during that game, then he goes to the locker room and then proceeds to tell the guys in the locker room, look, you guys probably will never get back here. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Dude,
you'll probably never come back. Yeah. This is your coach. That's
awesome.
Who just punted this game figuratively.
This guy doesn't belong there.
Not literally.
He does not belong in the NFL. You got to get this guy out of there.
He definitely wasn't reading the room. He wasn't reading the room. He didn't know his audience. It was like, hey, man, good luck this year. Great season. You guys will probably never make it back because it's so hard to get back here. And I just fucked all of you.
Yeah, basically.
Terrible job. This guy's the worst coach. Get rid of this guy. Put him on a high school team.
Yeah.
Fucking North Alabama somewhere.
I'll see you in OTAs.
Just put him on a Division II. Not even the top tier Alabama football team in high school. Just put him on like a D2, D3, one of those high school schools. I don't know, man. This guy, he doesn't have it. He really made tons of bad decisions.
Yeah,
just horrible decisions.
I mean, he went away. How do you go away from St. Brown? Like he made St. Brown
third and St. Brown
a ghost, man. Third and St. Brown, and then like 0 targets for St. Brown in the second half.
Yeah, I think really also he blew the clock management at the end of the game. If you guys remember,
he ran the ball.
He ran the ball, took the timeout.
Just throw. You still have 3 timeouts at that point. It blows my mind.
It's almost like it was an open book test in the first half, and he immediately lit his notes on fire and tried to take it, underwater in the second half.
No, Naveen, it wasn't even. It was worse than that. He couldn't even write his fucking name on the piece of paper.
Yeah, he couldn't do shit in the second half, and it was just like, it's just like you wonder, obviously he got them the playoff wins. He could have, put the field goal unit out there if you wanted to take the timeout.
Yeah,
he could have went. Yeah, he
and then try the onside kick. I mean, you didn't get it anyway, but still, at least you gave your chance. You gave yourself a chance to extend the game.
Exactly. Right? Like he could have, he ran on third down with a minute left with Montgomery to the outside again. We all know this guy's who you need to run to the inside. So,
it was Ferkser, former Titan. Ferkser, and he didn't score right there. Terrible. Remember, he didn't. He extended the ball at the 1 yard line. What are we doing?
Yeah, it was just like really disgusting to watch. Obviously, if you're a Niners fan and watching this podcast, like that was like Jesus Christ returning and
free gift
being awesome.
Yeah, that's how you know the NFL scripted.
Yeah, I think they wanted this rematch of 2019, was it, or 2020?
2020.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl. Yeah,
Hey,
so
so
All
many
right, all right, all
linear
right.
things
I'll cut you
here.
guys off. I'll cut you guys off. AFC conference game. What's up next now?
yep.
What do
So
we got next?
I think our next topic is Tennessee versus Kentucky. So we really want to discuss this game. It's a huge huge game for both teams, really. Tennessee at Kentucky. We all watched South Carolina wreck Kentucky. And really I want to give everybody a chance to go through what you saw in South Carolina and what you hope to see versus Kentucky. So Josh, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, just like we said in the reaction show, nobody showed up for Tennessee except Dalton Connect. And that wasn't until, halfway through the second half, unfortunately. It was almost too little too late. And it was obviously too little too late. Somebody else has got to show up, man. Simple as that. You have your super seniors, being plastered on the side of milk cartons because they're missing, right? And it's like, hey, have you seen this super senior 5-star Triple J? You need to show up. You need to produce. Give me 6 points. Santiago Vescovi showed up. He had 10 points. But then, Zakai, 2 points. I read off those stats at the reaction, but like literally no one else scored in double figures except Santi outside of Dalton's 31 points. That's not going to get the job done at Rupp. I think, obviously they're going to come in after that midweek game. They were embarrassed. After the game, a lot of the guys came back out trying to get shots up. So to me, that tells me obviously that loss to South Carolina hurt. The implications, they care. The implications of losing against Kentucky this weekend, if you lose, you probably punted any opportunity you have at the conference championship for regular season. And we all know how I feel about the SEC tournament, but it's kind of a waste of time.
But yeah, regular
season.
Tennessee's going to win.
Okay.
I've been kind of looking at Tennessee basketball with you guys, because you guys are very disappointed when they play shitty teams and they don't cover, right? They never cover against a shitty team. They never do. And sometimes they lose versus a shitty team.
Yeah,
so
sometimes. Twice out of their 5 losses, yeah. They're
going to play Kentucky, and they're going to beat them, actually. And it's going to be 100% effort by Dalton Connect. The guy's going to score 47 points, and Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to see it. I'm telling you. I've been watching it a little bit.
I appreciate that, Frank.
It's a little confidence boost for you, but I'm telling you, Kentucky's not going to win the game. It's going to be Dalton Connect. He's actually going to show up for the second half. This guy's going to score 37 points in the second half and win the game.
Okay.
He's ready to go.
Let me, since Stats by Indy's not available, I'm going to go ahead and talk some offensive stat comparison. Tennessee comes into the game, points per game at 78.5, Kentucky 88.7. This kind of talks about what I was saying earlier. Kentucky has played a little bit of an inflated schedule, in my opinion. So they've played some weaker competition and been able to score a little bit more points. The average score margin for Tennessee is plus 12, basically 12.5, and Kentucky is plus 11.5. Assists per game give the edge to Kentucky. Rebounds, Tennessee's got the edge by 1. Field goal percentage, both teams are shooting pretty well. Tennessee at 51.5 and Kentucky at 56. Offensive rebound percentage, Tennessee is dominating Kentucky in that category at 31.9 versus 24.5. And Tennessee turnover percentage, 12.9%, Kentucky 11.5. So, kind of a rubber match there. Defensively, Tennessee basically, from opponent points per game, they're keeping it at around 65 points. Field goal percentage for opponents 43. They got the edge in all these. Offensive rebounds per game 10.6, defensive 25.5. blocks 4, steals 8, and then personal fouls. Both teams look like they get in heavy foul trouble per game. Tennessee's at 17 and Kentucky's at 16. So
I'll tell you the only stat that matters, Josh, is how many points Dalton Knecht scores.
You're not wrong.
How many points is he going to score? Is he going to score 60, 40, 30, 20, 58?
You know,
I think
here's the thing.
That's how they win the game. If he scores over 30 points, I think they win the game.
Dalton Knecht
if he scores under 30 points, I think they get their ass kicked by like 15.
Yeah, I don't think Dalton's going to score 30 tomorrow. I don't think he's going to make it to 30. Because he's going to drop 40 on their ass tomorrow in Rupp Arena. That's why he's not going to get to the. He's going to drop 40 on those daggone slack jaw, toothless hillbillies up there in the damn coal mines. That's what's going to happen tomorrow night in Rupp. You can bring the 3 refs, the 5 Wildcats. We're getting the JOB done tomorrow. Mark it down. Dalton Knecht, GOAT, Kentucky Wildcats dad. Dalton Knecht, getting it done.
I was thinking Tennessee by 4. 69-65.
Okay.
But
I like the nod, 69-65, like that.
The game goes that way only if it's all Dalton Knecht. He touches the ball every single possession. He gets the ball every possession. He scores 50% of the time when he touches the ball. I think he's going to do it, to be honest with you. I think the last game I watched, Tennessee, South Carolina, was a beatdown. And he's going to come out and not be smothered defensively, right? Like South Carolina smothered him. Kentucky's not going to smother him defensantly.
That's true. That's true.
Guy's going to score.
That's true.
Yeah, he's going to score 45 points probably.
Dalton buckets tomorrow, man. Just straight cash.
Guy's going to put 45 points in there tomorrow. So, at the end of the day, I think you're going to see a Tennessee win tomorrow.
Okay, so I want to touch on 2 topics. One is who's going to show up other than Dalton, and when we get into our patented, Knoxville scoring droughts, how do we get out of them? I'll touch on this for myself. I think it's got to be Adu. I'm not looking at Zakai Ziegler to come out with a huge game. I think Kentucky's guards might have a little bit of an edge on Zakai, but I do think that, if we win, it's going to be from Adu. And also I might want to see some banging from Tobe Awaka and maybe a couple dunks from our boy Estrella. So I want to see that kind of dominance down low. I mean, you guys already know my keys to the game, so I won't repeat them. But I want to touch on how do we get out of scoring droughts. I want to see someone drive a lot and get fouled a lot. Kentucky has their key players. They should be in foul trouble if we can't get Dalton going immediately. And there's
one way. There's one way that they get out of a scoring drought, and there's one guy on Tennessee that'll get them out of a scoring drought, and it's Dalton
DK,
Knecht.
baby.
That's it. If he doesn't get them out of a scoring drought, the game's over.
Okay.
Let's be honest,
that's fair.
Right?
Josh, your thoughts?
He scored 15 points in 3 minutes to end the game.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do it, nobody else will.
Your thoughts, Josh?
I'm inclined to agree with Frank, but in fairness to the question, I think it has. I think yes, we have to have production from our post with Jonas. I'm telling you, tomorrow, the kitty killer outside of Dalton Knecht, the kitty killer is going to be Zakai Ziegler. Ziegler's going to be the linchpin to success. He's going to have a big assist. He's going to have a big assist game tomorrow night if we win. Mark it down. He's going to have a double-double tomorrow night if we win.
Okay. So quickly, I just want to look around to the other games in the NCAA. We have probably the best weekend so far of NCAA basketball in terms of rivalries, in terms of huge conference implications. We talked about UK Kentucky. This weekend, we also have UNC Duke. I see UNC covering the 4.5 and really putting the smackdown on Duke. Josh likes to call me a Tarval or a Vol heel, whatever, Vol heel. But I'm a big UNC fan, and I think they get it done. Houston is playing at Kansas. I want the bettors to take Kansas here. I think this is a good value. You get Kansas at plus 1.5, but I really should be betting them ML. They're plus 110.
I'll tell you now. I went to the Houston Texas game this week.
Yep.
And
tell us about that.
It's definitely Kansas.
Right.
It's definitely Kansas in this game. Money line all day. Texas played Houston. Houston was up 13 right at halftime against Texas, and Texas pretty much demoralized them in the second half.
Yep.
Sent the game to overtime, and Houston barely escaped with a win. Kansas is going to smoke Houston. They might win by 10 points in regulation. So,
all right.
I think Kansas all day there against Houston, just because I saw the guys play 5 days ago. You know what I mean? Like,
you got the
Houston
best
firsthand knowledge. They're not as good. They're not as good as people think. They really aren't.
Okay. So the two other games I wanted to talk about were Baylor, Iowa State, and you might ask, why am I talking about this game? Big 12 is deep. Iowa State is a lot better than people think, and I think you got to go Iowa State big there. Spread's not out from what I can see, but big time Iowa State at home. They'll get it done. And on Sunday, we have Purdue at Wisconsin. Andy and I went to Purdue at Rutgers. I just, give you the firsthand experience from last Sunday. Purdue really ain't shit, man. Zach Edey, all he does is travel and elbow people. There were 5.
They're not going to call it, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. They don't call these fucking elbows on Zach Edey. He elbows people almost every play.
King of the hook and hold.
Hook and hold, baby. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, he might have traveled like 10 times, but they called him 5 times. It's really like ref home cooking when Purdy is playing, but he won't be home. He'll be traveling to Wisconsin, traveling to Madison, and I think that's a good opportunity for Wisconsin to win. I think that, I just bet on Wisconsin at Nebraska, and that was a fucking tragedy. Wisconsin up 16 at the half, and they lose outright in overtime. Just disgusting. I had PK. I thought, I was celebrating at the half, man. I was like, man, this is such a good pick. I
I'll tell you, I had the same thing now. I have the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was texting Andy. I was texting my friend Thomas. I was texting Frank. I was like, yo, Vegas, are you fucking kidding me? How did they give us this line? And, Vegas, they kind of curtain stomped me on that one. They got that right.
It's like a minus 7.5 line that was pick.
Yeah.
And they somehow punted second half.
Yeah, that was disgusting, honestly.
Yeah.
Started some punting last night for me, but I think, Purdue, really, like, Rutgers played an incredible game versus them. Rutgers could not hit a shot at all, but somehow they only lost by 8 points, and really that was a 2 to 7 point game. The whole game, we got it at plus 11. Rutgers started 0-9 on 3-pointers, and it was just easy money to take Rutgers that game. I think we'll see the same thing for taking Wisconsin this week. Josh, you want to talk about any of these games at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
UNC Duke, man. It's going to be Carolina. I think they cover pretty easily. Duke, I think they're a name brand, so they get a lot of the benefit of the doubt. But North Carolina covers, wins. I think they're going to sweep the series. So when they go over to Durham, they're also going to beat Duke there later on in the year. Give me Houston against Kansas. I really like Houston to win that game. And I mean, you can make all the faces you want, guys, but give me Houston.
I just watched them.
What the hell?
all good. You got to have somebody to disagree every once in a while, and just maybe
No
do an
problem. No problem.
recenter, right? And then with Baylor, Iowa State, I'm going with Iowa State. They took care of Kansas last week, and did the cover just like I told everybody they would. And lastly, Purdue, Wisconsin. I just want Wisconsin to harvest Zach Edey's ACL. That's all I want to do. I want to see him, get injured, twist his big tree trunk leg right there in the middle part of it, and then just go sit on the bench for the rest of the year and get ready for the NBA draft, which he will not get drafted in, but just get ready to watch it on TV. And then crown Dalton Connect your player of the year.
All right. So we've come to that point in time in the pod where we put it on ice. We're actually blessed by having Frank with us. In the calendar year of 2024, the man is up 136 units, $100 better, makes $13,000 from Frank, $1,000 better, has a new fucking Mercedes in his driveway. Give it to us, Frank.
E-class.
Yeah, C-class, E-class, S-class, whatever you want. Give it to us, Frank.
Yeah. So my best bet, beginning of the year, the first half of the season before the All-Star break, is Colorado Avalanche over. This team just scores tons of goals. They're the only team in the NHL that plays a full game, right? Some teams give up 10 minutes left. Some teams give up 5 minutes left. This team, if they're down 4-1 with 7 minutes left in the game, the game's going to go over every single time. They're going to score a goal. They're always going to. So the Colorado Avalanche is they're playing Monday, so it's not like a Saturday or Sunday game. Playing the Rangers. The game's gone over 70% of the time this year against any opponent, as I think I mentioned before. It's the best bet in the NHL right now. You can't really look at any slate, any game, any NHL matchup, and find a higher percentage win than the Colorado Avalanche betting the over. It's just, there's nothing there. There's no 70% guarantee victories in the NHL the whole year. And that's pretty much the only one. The other one I'll tell you guys that I like is the Edmonton Oilers. They've won 16 games in a row. I think I mentioned in a prior podcast where these guys, they're playing under games. So they're playing under 6 games, really. But the line in Vegas is 7 on every Edmonton Oilers game. So if the Edmonton Oilers win the game, they're going to win 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-0. It's just going to keep happening where the game's going to go under. The Oilers are going to also cover the 1.5. And I can't tell you how many times so far I've bet the under and 1.5, and it's come in probably about 10 times. So if you're looking for like a second half of the NHL season, bet, I would say if you want to parlay the same game, take the Oilers 1.5 and the under, because Vegas keeps making the under 7. It's the only team in the NHL where they make the under 7. The Avalanche should be 7. It really should. It's always 6, 6.5. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes no sense to me. Vegas is giving money away on these 2 bets, and I would just keep piling it. Avalanche over. Take the Oilers 1.5 and take under 7. When the Oilers win, 10 of the last 11 games have gone under. Just take the under. It's the sharp bet for NHL, right? Oilers 1.5 and under 7 is the sharpest bet you can make against any opponent in the NHL. It'll make you the most money on any given day, and it's a same game parlay. And it comes in a lot. Genuinely comes in a lot. So with that being said, I'll tell you guys, Oilers and Avalanche are my 2 favorites to win the Cup this year. Oilers have been crushing it defensively, and they're covering. They're not even really close games that they're winning. The Avalanche, on the other hand, are a run and gun team. meaning they'll win 5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 5-1. The games are relatively speaking unpredictable, but a lot of goals get scored in them. So teams like that don't win the cup at the end of the season. So if you're looking at, the team to win the cup, it's going to be the Edmonton Oilers this year. They're ready to go. Great defensively, great offensively. They have Connor McDavid on offense scoring tons of goals. Leon Draisaitl also scoring goals. To me, I'm taking Oilers this year as the favorite to win the cup.
Okay, sounds good, Frank. Thanks for filling us in. And again, follow him if you like money. If you don't like money, just go ahead and ignore this. But if you love money, listen to Frank. That guy's running like God, so never fade him. All right, so my best bets for the weekend, I'll just take you through them. Minnesota plus 1.5. They are 86%, guys, against the spread. It doesn't even matter if they're down in the first half, down by 15. Last time they were down by 15 when I bet them. And I was like, man, why am I such a fish? Like, why did I take Minnesota? And then they won by 5. All in the second half. You can probably take Minnesota second half. Well, obviously, I can't give you that line right now because we don't know what it is. We got to wait for the game. But that's a team to watch out for. I just went to Rutgers. That team is tough. I think if they make the tournament, it's a tough out for anybody. So Rutgers plus 5. I think they're playing in Michigan. You can go Rutgers ML. Michigan is trash, so definitely don't bet Michigan no matter what you do. That would be my one piece of advice. And again, the last 2 games that we talked about, UNC and Kansas, UNC is going to cover at home. Josh and I went to Tennessee at UNC. It's just very tough to win there. It's a huge home court advantage. It's not super loud. It's not super rowdy, but it's almost like they expect to beat you, and they just give it to you nice and clean. Way
too many blue hairs in there, man.
Yeah, it's a very old, very rich crowd in Chapel Hill. So that's I would say it's not as lit as a home game as any of the games I've been to recently, but they do win and they do cover a lot. They're always in the Final Four. And again, I'll close out with Kansas. Again, we saw, Frank went to Houston game versus Texas. Texas is dog shit. They're not really that good, but they gave Houston a big time fight. And I expect to see more of the same with Kansas. Kansas is going to cover, and they're going to win the game outright. Josh, I'll let you close it out with the picks, and then I'll wrap up the show.
Yeah. So again, I really don't have that many this week. Tennessee opened up at 2. I think it's dropped to 1.5. I think take Tennessee. That's definitely my lock. Tennessee is 6-1 all time versus Kentucky when they're ranked in the top 10 under Rick Barnes. So good odds. I think Tennessee definitely gets that, and I would probably take the Tennessee second half just to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
But that's, I would also, again, going back to the Duke Carolina game, pile on Carolina. They're going to cover. And then, I know you looked at me crazy, but I'm on Houston, man. Houston versus Kansas.
Okay, so let me summarize.
That's never happening, Josh. I watched the game. Kansas is winning. Kansas is never beating. Kansas is never losing to Houston. Never.
It's going to happen tomorrow.
Never.
Okay.
Never. They're never.
So, Josh, is this right? What I'm seeing from you? Tennessee, Houston,
yes.
UNC. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I know a lot of them are pick'ems, right? Mm-hmm. Because spreads on those are pretty close. But Tennessee, Houston, UNC, locks.
Yeah. All right, sounds good, guys. I think we had a great show today. I just want to remind you guys to follow us on all of our socials. We come out on YouTube and Spotify, but we're on every single podcast streaming network other than Apple, working on that. So we want to make sure that you guys follow on Spotify. If you guys use Amazon Music, Audible, we're there everywhere. And I just want to encourage you guys to really engage with us. It makes it a lot more fun if we have people to talk to. We're at Lucky Top Sports on TikTok, Instagram, every other X. We're there. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to have some of you on, and eventually, gain our audience and gain fans. So, want to make sure that we're available to you, and we can talk about any topic that you want to cover. So yeah, just comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever you need to do. Make sure you talk to all of us, and we'll get back to you. When are you going to have access to a guy that's up 130 units, except for now? When are you going to get access to a guy that punts professionally? When are you going to talk to the number one Vol fan in America? It's with Lucky Top. So just want to make sure that you guys are engaged and talking to us. We will never ignore you, and we'll always comment and react to whatever you're saying. So if you want to send those questions or topics in, please do DM us anywhere. So
one more thing, just as a reminder, tomorrow night, immediately following the Kentucky Tennessee basketball game, we're going to go live on X. There is opportunities for you to communicate with us on there. So I know we get on there and we get some viewers on our reaction shows. It's been going up as we've been bringing other people on from the opposing teams. It seems to be a good narrative that we've been using and applying. But you can interact, comment on the live stream. If you think, oh man, Tennessee really sucked tonight or they did great, just let us know, and we'll interact with you there. So don't forget our reaction shows immediately following all the basketball games, and then we'll do that when football season starts as well. So check us out tomorrow night.
Cool. For Josh, Frank, myself, this has been Lock It Top. Lock It Top out, boys.
See you guys.